everybody, and welcome to part 2 of Cooking with Francois. Today I've decided that we're going to cook butter chicken. It is an Indian dish and it is quite tasty. We will be serving it with rice, so let's go ahead like we did before and get our rice going. We're going to put our rice into our rice cooker. We're going to add our water. Which 1 3/4 to 2 cups of water, just depending on you. And I'm putting, instead of olive oil, I'm putting butter in this time to cook with the rice. Now that the rice has started, we're going to get ready for what we need to put into our pressure cooker. It calls for 2 cups of onions. You might think that's a lot, but when we eat the final product, you'll see. As you see, I have brought my handy dandy chopper with me. Right, and we add those to the pot. There we go. Part of the onions anyway. Let's chop up some more. Uh-oh. I got one hung with it there. There we go. Maybe it'll go down. All right. With our 2 cups of onions, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter. And once we get that into the pot, we're then going to turn on the saute, brown saute. All right. We're now going to get our garlic ready. I mentioned last time that personally I don't wham it with my knife or anything. I take a can or something with a flat bottom and just take it and push it down, and that will break the skin of your garlic so that you can get it off. The recipe calls for 5 cloves of garlic. The recipe will be just like the last time at the end of the broadcast so that you can pause and write down the ingredients. These are sort of small. I'm probably going to use a little bit more than 5 because these are not very big cloves. All right, we're going to chop these up in our chopper. And when we come back, we will be stirring and sauteing and cooking until the onions are translucent. All right, as you can see, our onions are coming along quite nicely. Cook them just a little bit longer until they're more translucent. I know it looks like a lot of onions, but I promise you, this is all we need. All right, it's now time to start putting our spices and our other products, which are tomato sauce, tomato paste, and curry paste. This is red curry paste that we're using. I get it at an Asian market. I haven't been able to find it at like some of the name grocery stores in this area, but at a couple of the Asian markets here, it's no problem to get the red curry paste. But let's start by adding our tomato sauce. Then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Well, actually, it's looking like, considering that the other ones were not completely full, that you use almost all of a 6-ounce can of the tomato paste. So we add that. And because we're not going to use all of the curry paste, I am going to wipe off my spoon a little bit, and we're going to scoop it out of the can into our tablespoon measure. One. Two. All right, so we've got the paste, both the curry and the tomato paste in there. So let me come around to the side here and give it a good stir. Now we're going to add our dried spices. We're going to, actually, almost forgot there for a second. We have to turn this off while we're doing this step. So we're going to take Garam Masala. In India, almost every family has their own combination of spices that make this up. So I purchased this here in Mobile already mixed together. And we are going to use 2 teaspoons of this. One, 2. Boy, that smells good. And then we need some smoked paprika, a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. All right. Then we need 1.5 teaspoons of ground ginger. I got the spoon hung in the spice thing, but there we go. and a teaspoon of salt. And let's give that a good stir with those spices in it. And now we are going to add our chicken. I have approximately 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs that you put down into the pot. I'm going to stir a little bit of the sauce on top of it so that while it's cooking, it'll be immersed in that wonderful sauce that we just made. All right. And there we go. We have our chicken now in with the spices and the tomatoes. Now, we get ready to set it to pressure. There we go. Didn't want to cooperate there for a second. Set it on airtight. Then we cook. Pressure, cook time, and I want that for 7 minutes. And then we hit start. And remember, it doesn't start pressure cooking until it gets up to the pressure. So, be a little while before we get back to you, but we're going to cut so that you don't have to wait. All right, see you in a few minutes. All right, we've now cooked our 7 minutes, and then you're supposed to let the pressure release naturally for 5 minutes. So basically 12 minutes. Now we're going to release the pressure. Remember what I said about putting some towels? But as you notice, there's not nearly as much steam as there was last time because we let it release naturally. All right. I'm going to get the camera and just show you what it looks like at this point. This is what it looks like. All right. So now the next step is we're going to take the thighs out. All right, we've got all the thighs out. Now we're going to add a half a cup of heavy cream. All right. Once we put the heavy cream in, then we take our I just completely forgot the name of this tool, our Immersion blender. We stick it down into the pot. And we mix all this up, and it is cutting and pureeing all the tomatoes and onions and everything else that we put in. We puree it until it's nice and smooth. All right. Now we turn back on our brown saute. And now we're going to cut up the chicken. Hurry. All right, I've now chopped up the chicken. I'm going to add it back to our wonderful sauce. I missed it a little bit here, but we'll be fine. And then we give that a good stir. Let's put the top back on for just a moment. Put it back on brown saute while we get our rice ready. Beautiful rice. Don't know what I would do without my rice cooker, let me tell you. Well, I do know what I would do. I would never have rice cooked correctly, is what I would have if I did not have my rice cooker. And remember, we used butter. Last time we used olive oil. So it really doesn't matter what you use. Some people even put pepper. Some people use stock, chicken stock or beef stock, depending on what they're serving with the rice. One thing I forgot to do last time, and I was told that that is not the way it's supposed to be done, is that I did not taste what I had fixed. So I've got a small plate so that I can taste it this time. I'm now turning off my pressure cooker. And it is bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. And now we're going to put the butter chicken onto the platter. The platter right here, so we can do it a little bit easier. As you can see, I would say this makes enough to serve 4 to 6 people, depending on the size, I guess, of their appetites. All right, now let's get my plate. Put me a little bit on the little bit of rice that I put. There's some extra sauce in here, so if people want more sauce, they can come get more sauce. Now let's see if I did a decent job here. Gonna blow on it, because I don't want to burn my mouth. Out of sight. A little bit spicy. If it's too spicy for you, you can just use less curry paste, because that's what makes it spicy. But this is very good, and this is Francois saying, let's dig in! Hello everybody, this is Chef Francois calling to put a little bit of a disclaimer. That dish that we just made is sort of spicy. So if you don't want it so spicy, just don't add as much of the red curry paste. If you like it medium to almost very warm, then stick with the 2 tablespoons. But if you don't, just 1 tablespoon should do, and I don't think it will really affect the taste that much. Had it for my lunch, thought it was great.